Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Deszren. Most people call me Des. Feel free to call me whichever. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Today we are going to be doing my friend Xavier's hair. If you don't know, I am a licensed cosmetologist specializing in locks, lock maintenance, all things locks pretty much. So today we are going to be doing a retwist and style on Xavier. If you're not new to my channel, you probably have seen my retwist video that I did with Xavier years ago. If not, I will put that up in the cards up above just so you can see where he started. Not even where he started because he was already a couple years in back then, but just the difference between then and now. You will notice that Xavier does have buildup in his hair. I am not the one that has been maintaining his hair all this time. The last time that you saw me do his hair was one of the few times I actually have done his hair. Like, I can count on one hand how many times I've done Xavier's hair all the years that he's had locks, which I think is like 6 or 7 years now that he's had them. He's had them since we were in high school, so it's been a very long time. This is what his hair looks like after a fresh wash. We did not have time today to do a detox. We honestly rescheduled this appointment a few times, so we did what we could, but next time I see him, I already told him that he definitely needs a detox. So yes, you will see some parts of his hair that have some noticeable buildup. It's not the end of the world, and that will be addressed at a later appointment. Xavier would tell you himself he is not on a consistent schedule as far as maintaining his hair. So yes, you will see me pulling apart his locks a little bit. I did do that before we even washed because if you leave the hair matted like that and then wash, you're not going to be able to really get a thorough shampoo done, and it will mat up even as you go and afterwards. So just make sure that you are pulling the hair apart. You're not hurting your client, but you just want to make sure that you can really get in there and get as much dirt and debris out as possible. So as you saw before, I am using As I Am's castor oil water to moisturize his hair today, and the lock-in gel. That is my go-to gel for clients that have sensitivities or want to bring their own products. I totally let them. It's their hair at the end of the day. And some clients do only get a mousse retwist, a oil and water retwist. It really depends on that person and what type of things that they have going on. Most people can get away with using gel though, so it really just depends on the person. If they have any allergies or sensitivities or dermatitis, you definitely want to be careful with the types of products that you're using and how much of it you are using. So looking back at this video, I was watching some parts and I'm like, damn, I hope it doesn't look like I'm being rough, because I'm really not. When you are separating locks, the hair should come apart easily. I do work kind of fast, so it might look like I'm being a little bit more aggressive in some areas, but I'm really not. Just always make sure that your client is comfortable and they're okay with what you're doing. And I always ask my clients to, if they are tender-headed, because you already know I am, and I do not play that shit at all. There might be some situations where pulling apart the hairs can hurt a little bit. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. I'm not talking about making total new parts like some people do. But like I said before, if the hair does not come out easily when you're trying to part the hair, don't even bother. It's probably too far gone and it's already locked up where it's locked up. Since Xavier doesn't get retwists often, he is definitely someone that would benefit from getting a crochet retwist, or just getting crochet maintenance in general, because when you are pulling apart the hair after it's been matted together for so long, you will have those longer strands that come out. Even when you have to separate the hair, you'll have those extra strands, and sometimes your new growth might be an inch, 2 inches, 3 inches, sometimes even longer depending on how long it's been since you've gotten a retwist. So normally the best way to maintain that is to crochet it so it doesn't keep coming undone and that the lock continues to form properly. So once I do my retwist, I like to wrap the extra hair around the lock like so. I pretty much grab it with my right pointer finger and my thumb, and I bring it around and catch it with my middle finger and my ring finger on my left hand. So It's kind of weird. It's a weird motion to get used to, but once you do it, it becomes so easy. I am not the biggest fan of locksmithing. I feel like either one or the other works for you, and this has just been something that's always worked for me. If my client wants to save money and not get the crochet maintenance or the crochet retwist, that's perfectly fine. This is pretty much what I do for them. Styling is something that most of my clients do get. Obviously not every single retwist, but a style after doing this can help those hairs kind of stick to the lock. But if you are someone that needs to wash weekly, then crochet maintenance would definitely be better for you. If you are someone that needs crochet maintenance or has never gotten it done, just beware that it usually will cost extra because it takes longer and it takes a very specific type of skill to have when it comes to maintaining locks. So that's why you don't see everyone that absolutely needs it get it, because you will be in the chair longer and you will definitely be paying more for that service. I know a lot of people want to just be in and out the chair. They don't want to be in anyone's salon all day long. But you also have to understand that if it's been months and months since you've maintained your hair, gotten a retwist, washed it even, you're gonna be in the chair for a while if you are with someone that you can actually trust and knows what they're doing. There's no need to be rushing through someone's hair. Once you've been doing it for a long time, you will get faster at it naturally. But when people say, oh yeah, my retwist is done in an hour and 15 minutes and they have over 100 locks in their head and I know they don't wash often, I'm like, how? Like, there's just no way. Someone is skipping steps here. Just be realistic with your expectations depending on your routine. And also, you will see me not use a single clip in Xavier's hair. On mature locks, I really don't use clips like that. I will loosely twist the hair a little bit, maybe a few inches down just to hold the retwist if they are getting a style. If they are just coming in for a regular retwist, then I will use like the duckbill clips or the alligator clip, something bigger to hold multiple locks at once. Their hair is trained. So make the process easy for yourself if you are the person that is doing hair. And also, clips can sometimes hurt your clients. So just make sure that you are always making your client as comfortable as they can be. For anyone that is wondering, because I do get asked this question mainly by my clients, especially a new client, how long it takes me to do a retwist, style, wash, all of that. If someone is coming in for like the works and they have, I would say, medium length hair, so it maybe is past their shoulders but not their armpits, I could probably get them in and out in about 2.5 hours, 2 hours, 45 minutes. Sometimes it's closer to 3 hours, depending on the type of style that they want, how dirty their hair is, how long the wash itself takes, and if we have to do like a short consultation in the beginning since they're a new client. Returning clients, I can usually get done in like the 2 hour range. If they have longer hair or more locks, then we're looking at closer to 2.5 hours. It really just depends on the situation, the density of someone's hair, and what their maintenance is like. The only clients that are coming in for just about an hour, hour and a half are my clients that have high top locks, or sometimes my clients that are comfortable washing their hair at home and actually do a good job of washing their hair at home. So it really just depends on the situation. So it is possible to get a client in and out in about an hour and a half. But speaking for myself, that's not really typical. So as far as styling, Xavier did let me freestyle. So I decided to do 3 separate barrel twists going into 2-strand twist. Although I don't really recommend keeping any style in for longer than 4 weeks, depending on your density and how long you've had your locks. But I am going to go ahead and do this first barrel twist, and then for the one on the side, you'll really be able to see exactly how I do it, and I'll go into a little bit more depth on how exactly you can do a barrel twist pretty easily. When you are starting your barrel twist, you are pretty much going to start it as if you were starting a 2-strand twist. So you're going to have a left strand and a right strand. The right strand goes over the left one. You're going to twist down a few times. Because your first twist was twisted to the left, the first lock that you're going to take is going to go over the right side. And then you're going to take a lock from the right side and then go over to the left side. And especially when you're working with longer locks, you want to twist down a few times just so that it maintains that twist pattern. On shorter locks, you might not have to twist multiple times going down, or you might not even be able to, which is perfectly fine. Just make sure that you're not using too much tension, especially when working on shorter locks. With long locks, you have way more freedom and way more length to work with. Now, when it comes to these, I call them inside locks because they're not on the outer part of the barrel twist. If you want a chunkier look, you can go ahead and normally add those in like I just did with his. Or you could just tuck any excess lock underneath, depending on how chunky you want your barrel twist to be. I used to think barrel twists were like the hardest thing that you could do on locks, but it's not. It's just very tedious. The more you do it and the more experience you get working on different size locks, you will get so much better at it because you'll know when and where you need to adjust based off of your client. Just keep telling yourself over and under and make sure that every time you are going over and under, you picked from the opposite side. Whatever you do, just do not let go of the barrel twist, okay? It will begin to unravel and it will get confusing and it might mess you up if you're not experienced doing them. So make sure that you're maintaining a taut hold, not tight, but a taut hold on the barrel twist as you are twisting down to maintain that consistency. If you wrap the locks too close together, it will look more like a barrel roll. So when you're doing the barrel twist, make sure that you're bringing the lock down a certain length so that you have that space that gives it that twist look. I hope that makes sense. If you know what I'm talking about as far as what a barrel roll looks like, then that should have made sense. If not, I would love to make a video with the difference of a barrel twist and a barrel roll. So just let me know if that's something that you guys would be interested in seeing. So to finish off the style, I'm literally just going to take some of his longer locks, wrap it around the base to make a ponytail. I do tie his locks together to create this ponytail because honestly, I don't have a hair tie big enough for his hair. I just don't. And this will hold pretty well too. And with longer hair, you could totally do this. It's not an issue. Just make sure that you're not doing it too tight to where it's possibly damaging the hair. Once I'm satisfied with the ponytail, I'm just gonna go ahead and spray the length of his hair with that castor oil water again, and then start my two-strand twist. I feel like I've done two-strand twist before in the past, so if I could find a video where I kind of go a little bit more in depth about it, I'll just put it in the cards up above. It's again one of those things that kind of you just get better with time. If you are struggling with it, don't worry, everyone struggles with anything when they first start out. So don't expect perfection when you're first doing something, like me. It's not healthy, okay? Nothing is perfect. But make sure when you're doing the two-strand twist, especially for a style like this where their hair is in a ponytail, make the two-strand twist make sense. Don't grab one lock from the right side and then try to connect it to one all the way from the left. That just doesn't make any sense. Connect it with one that is close by and also a similar length if you can, because then that prevents you from having to bend too much of the ends upwards and just cause unnecessary tension and stress on the ends that are already the weakest spot of anyone's hair since it's the oldest spot. So to set his hair before I put him under the dryer, I'm just using the Shine and Jam mousse. Use whatever you want. I don't really care. This is just what I like to use. It doesn't leave any type of residue and it adds great shine to the hair. And because his hair is already styled, he doesn't need to sit under the dryer for 45 minutes, okay? Sometimes y'all be having your clients under the dryer for way too long. After washing, put them under the dryer for like 15-20 minutes just so this can cut down their dry time at the end. So he really only stayed under there for about 15 minutes or so. And this is the end result. Very clean, very crispy, very beautiful. And I did apply some oil to his hair as well. I don't remember the exact one. I switched back between a couple of different ones, but I will link the ones that I like the best in the description below, along with the other products I used today. And that pretty much sums up everything. Yo, that face he made killed me. I had to include it. But if you like this video, please feel free to share it with anyone, especially someone that you know is trying to be a loctician or is interested in doing hair. This could help them. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see y'all next time. Bye, guys.